Yesterday on Average Mike. So I'm going to try and swim across there wearing just a pair of Speedos. That is 1 mile. 10 degrees Celsius. Start taking cold showers.
By taking cold showers, I don't think it's going to help you whatsoever.
For the next week, I forced myself to get in the river every day. And sure enough, I began to acclimatise. This actually works. However, the hard part is still to come. That is cold. That is cold. My name's Mike Boyd, and I'm pretty average. But over the last 3 years, I've been trying to learn new skills as quickly as possible. This series is all about attempting challenges that are out of my comfort zone. I want to try things that are extraordinary. This is Average Mike.
This is all about cold endurance. That's your biggest enemy. That's enemy number one. And that's what you have to get over. Because that's a very short space of time to build that up to get to where you want to be. And along with that, you're taking the psychology in your head. Because when people, maybe first timers, go out into the river, they see this massive expanse of water and freeze. You've got to be, what could you say? Be very open-minded about how this is going to go.
Just 6 months ago, I began learning to swim, and now I'm taking on my biggest challenge yet, by attempting to swim a mile in open water. I'm trying to cross the River Tay in Scotland, cold water subject to the tides, and I'm going to attempt this with just trunks, goggles and a cap. No wetsuit. I've spent the last 10 days exposing myself to cold water and have managed to acclimatise and reduce cold shock considerably, which now means I can train properly. With 18 days left until the swim, I need to put in some hard training. It's 7 in the morning and there's lots of things I'd rather be doing right now. But this is when the tide is in, and we've got to go when the tide is in. No shivers. It's fine. So I was just swimming up and down here and a bunch of people arrived and they kind of waded in a little bit and then they started emptying something into the water, and I noticed all the water getting all murky and they were emptying somebody's ashes into the river, and I was swimming right through their cremated remains. The water's about 11 or 12 degrees Celsius today. Should be really unpleasant. That was a tough, cold training session.
That's a record, yeah? Babe, don't go in without me filming it.
So when I was like really small, tiny, I was fishing off that pier there, and these two girls arrived here, climbed down that ladder, jumped into the water and started swimming across the river, and my mind was blown. I remember being gobsmacked that someone was doing this, and I asked one of the people who was standing on the pier there what they were doing, and she explained to me that they were swimming across to the other side, or at least they were attempted to. I couldn't believe they were doing this. I remember thinking to myself, that must be really hard. Why would you do that? There's this really famous speech by Kennedy. He's addressing the world and he's announcing that we are going to the moon. And he says something along the lines of,
"We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard."
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. That line has stuck in my head. It's one of my favourite speeches. And ever since I saw those people swimming across this river, I've always wanted to do that as well. Not because it's easy, but because it's hard. don't want to go in today.
Michael, you say that every day.
I know, but I really don't want to go in today.
Get in there.
Every day at high tide, I spent as much time in the water as I could, building up to 3/4 of a mile in distance at the harbour and beach. I got better at dealing with waves, poor visibility, the currents and the cold, as well as improving fitness. Despite all of this, after a month of training, I still didn't feel even half ready for this challenge.
I'm gonna call it a day today. Tomorrow is the day of the swim, so we only get one shot at this. There's a lot of people that kind of need to be there for safety reasons, and organising all that. We only get one shot at this. I'm f***ing myself about this. I've been cranky all day today, probably will be tomorrow as well. Let's just hope I get across. Fingers crossed. Alright, today's the day. This is it. The weather isn't ideal, it's a little bit windy. There's talk of this being called off. Kinda want it to be called off. So I'm about to head down to the pier, put these bad boys on, and let's do this.
So I immediately started freaking out when I entered the water. The distance looked vast and it messed with my head. I was struggling to swim. Here you can see the boat crew asking if I was okay, as they were a bit concerned. However, after a few minutes, I was able to remember my training, calm down and control my breathing. I got my head in the water and started putting down some real distance. Amazingly, after just 15 minutes of swimming, I hit the halfway mark. I wasn't just going to make it across to the other side, I was going to smash my goal of 50 minutes. This was going to be easy. Yeah, maybe not. Just at the halfway point, the tide started to turn. Literally. See that line made by the current? As soon as I hit that, it felt like I stopped dead. The current was dragging me downstream, so I had to start swimming in a curve. I had to swim harder and further, and I was beginning to feel the cold.
Right, so you're going to have to swim a bit harder now. Huh? Swim a bit harder, it's got to get pulled down now.
Swim harder?
Yeah,
Aye.
You can do it!
Come on, you're nearly there. Feel the bottom, feel the bottom.
did you know that I have created a class that teaches you how to solve the Rubik's Cube the easiest way? The method I use is called CFOP, and it uses the least number of algorithms to make memorization super easy. So if you've ever wanted to learn to solve the Rubik's Cube, you should check it out. It's hosted on a learning platform called Skillshare, which also has 20,000 other professional classes to help you learn whatever you like. You want to learn how to code Python? Skillshare's got you covered. How about Adobe Illustrator? Well, there's a class on that. How about learning how to make ceramics? Skillshare's got that too. So since Skillshare are sponsoring the show, they're offering 2 months of unlimited access to their premium service for free to the first 500 people who sign up. That is easily enough time to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and there's no commitment to stay on after that offer ends. You've got nothing to lose. So check out Skillshare, the link is in the description, and thank you very much for watching.